Hey there, Christian here. And as we approach the end of 2024, I thought it would be a good idea to share with you a little bit of a review of my year and to look back at 2024. It's been an incredible year, personally and professionally, deeply rich, deeply healing, transformative. And I think that's the case for many of us. And before I begin to take a look at some of the highlights, I just want to take this moment from the deepest part of my heart to wish you all a wonderful transition into this new year. Whatever it is you've got planned, whether it's fireworks, family time, party time, or just maybe internal reflection time, I hope you do take some time to become intentional around what is it that your heart craves? What is it does it really want? What are you saying yes to? And also maybe what are you saying no to as we welcome in what I believe is a very important year. Yeah, so whatever it is that you've got planned, happy holidays. I'm currently just out of New Eden. I took the train to a hotel next to Amsterdam Airport as I'm about to fly off to the USA as part of a commitment, actually, which started this year to bring Heart IQ back to the US. For those who don't know, Heart IQ actually began in the US back in 2003. I started to do my first workshops there, and my first multi-day retreat took place in LA back in 2004, I believe, in February. So 20 years ago, I was starting this journey of doing deep transformative work in the US. And then when I bought New Eden, the retreat center we have in the Netherlands, a lot of my focus, of course, naturally went to building the community in the Netherlands and in Europe. But I really feel like I miss my Heart IQ brothers and sisters from across the pond. So in April this year, I went over and did my first event there, first week-long deep dive in over a decade. It's been a long time. And it was really beautiful as I brought some of the somatic shadow and circle work over to Colorado. And I'm about to do the same. I'm bringing some more facilitated training in January, in a couple of weeks' time. For those of you in the US, if you're still around, there's still a bit of time to register. It's January the 16th to the 19th, with an extra circle healing in tribe day on the 20th. So this is my commitment to come every 6 months to the US and continue to build community there and to bring the work there. Now, when I was looking at this kind of view back of my year, it feels a little bit more exciting and relevant to actually start at the end and work back. And that's just because I've literally come out of one of the most nourishing, beautiful, and inspiring Christmas community periods that I can remember. We often have community Christmas at New Eden. And what that basically means is we have the house of New Eden opened up, decorated, Christmas tree, beautiful open fireplace, and we invite members of the Heart IQ community, usually those of us that have been together for a while, and we gather in an intentional way. And it was just the most wonderful flavor, going ice skating, going to the spa, city trips, eating poffertjes. And for those who don't know, that's like eating mini little pancakes with crazy amounts of sugar. But the biggest highlight was really around how seamless and co-creative and nourishing it was for bodies to come together in regulation and in tribe. And after a really big year, where I have spent 19 weeks, I think, if I did the math correctly, I've been delivering 19 weeks of retreats. I've also been in retreats, more than that, of course, for my own personal development. But in terms of me professionally giving, it's been 19 weeks in 2024, which is really a lot of time. And the last one ended on December the 22nd. It was really the highlight for me, actually. I was coming out of actually, I'll talk a little bit more about that event in a minute. I noticed my brain can just go off in a million different directions. But we did end with a beautiful retreat on the 22nd of December, just after the solstice. And I got a chance to just, land immediately in tribe and be received in that space. And to spend a week, and a little bit longer actually, off my phone for the majority of time, to not have to worry about responding to messages, to experience being held as well as being part of a container. And it inspired me really deeply as to like, I think this is what I'd love New Eden, especially the house side of New Eden, to become. It made me realize that with the right group of people who've had training around conscious communication, around really leading with the body and being somatically informed, being open in the heart, being familiar with the tools of Circle, that we can create like a conscious resort where people can come and spend time in a high frequency living environment, enjoying the amenities of New Eden, the nature of New Eden, but to come into cooperative collaboration and potentially even co-working with other like-minded, like-hearted beings. So this is something that we're going to do more of and actually open up more of New Eden over these coming years, to have time where the right people can come and experience being together in tribe with this operating system at its heart. So I'm super excited about that. And for those of you who are wondering like, oh, is there a date already planned for that? The answer is yes, there is. We have a 2-week period that we're opening up for community living from April the 28th up until May the 12th. So that period of time, we're going to open up New Eden for community living on the house side. It's right after our Healing in Tribe retreat. So for those of you who may be new to the work and actually feel like they'd like to be initiated, to be eligible to attend and be part of a residency where you can experience community living at New Eden, you could also attend that week deep dive retreat, which is in collaboration with the Sound Field. And then you can just stay on for an extra few weeks and spend time in community. Like I said, it is important that those people who are part of the kind of extended living, collaborative community kind of energy, that there is an initiation of being in Circle and having an imprint of what it's like to be in the field on a deep dive retreat. So it's just perfectly timed that we have a retreat followed by a residency at New Eden for those of you who'd like to join, because this isn't a held space. It's not like it's a retreat where I'm like delivering and holding and teaching into. It's living together with a loose structure and a frame that we're all contributing to. It's just really, really beautiful. And if the last Christmas was anything to go by, I think this can only become richer and richer as time goes on. So that was my Christmas. It was just perfect. And like I was alluding to, right before Christmas, I ended with what I believe, it's hard to put, like when somebody says, what was your favorite event, the highlight for me in 2024? There's a couple of things, and I've already mentioned one of them, which was working with the Sound Field has been a life-changing, revolutionary experience for me. The Sound Field is a live instrumental band that attunes to the group field, and together we facilitate Circle in a more emergent way. And I had an opportunity to not just spend time with them for 2 weeks during the summer for the Advanced Shadow Work Retreat, but they were actually part of my Healing in Tribe 10-day retreat in November, where I got to lead Circle, do my deepest work, and be met with the intuitive meeting point of live music. So the mat work just went so deep, so rich, so incredible. And I was just left not just touched by the experience, but rejuvenated. It's rare for me to end a retreat and then feel like, oh my God, I feel so abundant in energy. I feel so healthy that I could just start again and just do it again and again and again. And there's only been one other retreat that I experienced that before, which was last year's Healing in Tribe, also with the Sound Field. So I noticed that there's something connected with the ease and the grace of aligning this work with profound music, live music especially, that nourishes my being. So that was a big, big highlight for me, absolutely. And I'm excited to continue to work with them into 2025. But they will be back in the Healing in Tribe retreat on April the 21st to 27th for anybody who's feeling a yes to go deeper into the rich embodied Circle work and to see what that's like to do that with live instrumentation. That's happening. But yes, the other highlight, the other event that is like, weighing up these two was a difficult decision as to which one comes on top, And that is a brand new event I created this year called the Circle Work Facilitator Training. And when I say brand new, I've been running facilitator training events for 12 years now, since we opened up the Heart IQ Academy in 2011. We've trained hundreds of practitioners all over the world. So that's not new. But I wanted to create a new type of event with a new structure where I could find this blend of how to transmit an imprint of the deepest quality of Heart IQ circle work in the different, what we call boxes. So I categorize different types of space, like emergent spaces, to kind of meeting point couples work, to liberation shadow work, to more healing trauma work and corrective experiences and things like that. So we've got very clear delineated boxes. And I wanted to offer facilitators a chance to receive the transmission of what it's like to be in a field where these types of experiences are possible, while simultaneously giving participants practice opportunity in core skills that they could walk away with that could be met where they currently are in their professional life. And that's a hard thing to do, to simultaneously offer a transmission where they can experience a personal kind of transformation, while at the same time wearing the facilitator's hat and kind of experience and digest and practice and walk away with tools all in 3.5 days. It's a big ask. And I did the first one in June, and this was so epic. I was like, oh my God, this is my favorite event ever. I love this. This was incredible. I left that feeling so inspired. It felt like the kind of people that it attracted. I was like, yeah, these are the quality of practitioners and facilitators and passionate, hungry people that I would want to train. And then we did another one 6 months later, just before Christmas. Similar size group, around 45, 50 of us, but now we added the addition of live streaming it. And this live stream, by the way, wasn't just any live stream where you're attending on Zoom and watching behind a computer. There were people that created watch parties where they hired an Airbnb, gathered people locally, and literally followed along in places like Australia, in Sydney, in America, in Switzerland. So while we were all gathering and being in circle at New Eden, it was being broadcast out to circles real time all over the world, creating a meta field that held and brought in an even stronger energy into the space. And it's like, just wow. I mean, if you could feel it, and this is what I realized, is that the energy that we created in these 3 to 4 days at the end of December, it was wild, intense. And I was like, whoa, this is really, really profound and powerful. Could we imagine thousands of people all in circle in their homes or in satellite venues, watching, experiencing, following along? And I designed it in such a way that nearly everything is either easily absorbed to receive as a transmission, or it can be easily practiced if you are doing it together in a group at home. That you're not just watching and passively taking it in, that the live stream is actually having an experience. And the people that came back from the live stream were sharing this was a life-changing experience watching a live stream. The hybrid of having something live and then having access to that wherever you are in the world through a stream is revolutionary. And I am so excited about this event. I'm also excited for its potential, because this event is a gateway. It's a portal into our brand new Circle Work certification facilitator training. So last month I revealed a roadmap for what it takes now to become a certified Heart IQ facilitator. What is the personal work that needs to be done? What's the training that needs to be done? And what is the apprenticeship in Circle through hot seat trainings that need to be done? And this event, the Circle Work Facilitator Training, this small 3.5 day training, is like the entry. It's the thing that happens first. And again, this is what I'm flying to the US tomorrow to do, which is super exciting. But I did realize kind of the reflection of these events was what am I learning? What do I need to do differently? And I feel like what needs to happen next, and this is what we're going to do next year, is not just open this event up, because the next event, by the way, for those of you who are curious, is June the 5th to the 8th. June 5th to the 8th, 2025. We're doing that again at New Eden. However, I'm including it as part of a coaching program that begins on April the 22nd, so that through live calls and some video training, I'm preparing people to come into the live field or the live stream with some preparational training. So we're not all just arriving and then it's a kind of like a cold field. We've warmed up the field, we've gotten to know each other, we're bridging, we're blending, we're bringing our energies in. We've already done half of the hard, heavy lifting before we've even arrived. And by heavy lifting, I just mean building rapport, coherence, getting through that awkward tension. So we can really maximize those days together in a profound way. So that's kind of an exciting kind of in progress project. It's one of the, I would say, the 3 big things I'm excited for developing in 2025. So the first one, as I said, is what do you call that? My brain just went into like yeah, so the 3 things that I'm excited for focusing on in 2025. The first one is the building out of my new facilitator training for those who want to learn the modality of circle. That's the first one. The second one, the one I've already mentioned, is creating community in New Eden and opening up the house side for more collaborative, co-creative residencies where people can, it's like a pit stop to upgrade and feel connected, and for facilitators and people who just feel like they'd love to drop in for a week or 2 or maybe a month or more and just go into an incredibly beautiful environment to be met in. So I'd love to focus on that next year too. And the third one, which I haven't yet mentioned, but you've probably heard about it kind of in the air maybe, if you've been following me for a while. God, how do I explain this? Because I don't want to spend too long on this whole year, because I notice this is going to be a long video, but this is so exciting. Perhaps I'll complete with this piece. So 12 years ago, I used to run very big events. Well, big for me. They were called Heart Summits. These were 300 to 400 people in a live auditorium for 4 days. They were also live streamed to an additional few hundred people. And working with a group field of hundreds and bringing them into their bodies, coming into transpersonal collective frequencies. There were moments where it felt like we were all connecting in a way that it feels like we're all going to church. It was just profound. And then I stopped doing these bigger events. And I regret it. It's one of my biggest regrets in my career, actually. It's like, why did I stop doing that? I had a short-sighted view on them because they were very time consuming to put on, very expensive to put on. And at that time I thought the formula and the exchange didn't seem to fit, didn't feel right. And then what I realized is that these events were so powerful that people 10 years later were still talking about them, and they were still coming to events and retreats and taking courses because of them. And the footage that was created was repurposed and reused for so many years that I'm now looking back and going, no, that was the best investment I could have done. So it's an interesting thing, isn't it? When you look at long-term versus short-term, it's a really interesting lesson for me. But there was a flavor in these events that I was really, really connected to. And one of the things I've been doing this year is working with Rachel Rickards from The Field. I spent 6 weeks facilitating different parts of the field training this year, primarily in the UK near Glastonbury. And the group this year, they had a quality to them that was really connected to performance, sacred theatre, and being able to bring their creativity through their facilitation in really profound ways. And I was kind of inspired and touched by what they were bringing. And it got me thinking around, if I were to think out of the box, how could I bring the frequency of hard IQ and this profound work to the masses with thousands of people in stadiums all over the world? And I came up with this idea around, like, think of a traveling circus, but it's not a circus like with clowns necessarily, animals and acrobats and the classic way. I'm talking about, imagine coming into a space where you, as somebody in the audience, could experience receiving a transmission of the full human energetic emotional range in its most exquisite form, delivered by sacred performers who were trained through being in circle to access specific parts of the human spectrum, to offer an imprint and an invitation to open in certain parts of your body and certain parts of your emotional energetic world, through live music, through technology, lighting, sound, an epic show of the human spirit, narrated through a story where the consciousness and shadows of our emotional energetic experience could be revealed, and transformation can take place through literally just sitting in an auditorium receiving something like this, where I also blend in actual experiences that the audience can participate in to feel this transpersonal togetherness and unity consciousness, and to really create a paradigm of living that people can experience like what's possible. So it was like, okay, wow, that's the end goal, traveling around with an entourage, with incredible sacred performers doing sacred theatre, helping me showcase the full human energetic emotional range and the spirit of the human heart in a devotional way where people in the audience are left going, I have never experienced anything like this in my entire life. That was the most awe-inspiring show of humanity that I've ever experienced. And just by being in that room, their life has changed. It's like an awakening per se. And so it's quite hard to explain it. Maybe it lands, maybe it doesn't, but it's kind of clear inside of me. And the very first step for me to take in building such an experience, because it really feels like this is the next chapter. What I'm moving towards is like, okay, I've got New Eden as a home base, as a community. I've got the facilitator training to help create legacy by empowering the next generation of facilitators. But my own artist, my own inner, like, where is me playing at the next highest level coming from and going? It's like, it's this new project. And it starts with a new event that we're bringing to New Eden in June the 25th to the 29th. And it's called Ecstasis. And ecstasis is the Greek word for transpersonal love. And in these 5 days, I'm going to explore in these days, sessions where the entire collective, and we're hoping for around 300 people to come. We're going to hire a big outdoor tent and really pimp it out. And I'm so looking forward to inviting people into an experience where it will simultaneously be an opportunity for tribe to come together, for us to experience this frequency that I'm talking about, where we can begin to practice and bring forward these sacred performers and the sacred art, and to bring it together with live music, and to offer that transpersonal unity that can come from such a space. So it will be the first iteration of something like this, while at the same time offering workshops that you can also choose based on your interests around the blueprint, the puzzle of new paradigm living in what I consider to be the future of where we're going as a human race. Like, there are codes that I've received and that we've all received around what's coming next and what's possible and how can we actually deepen and live in tribe. And there's certain ingredients around that, around brotherhood and sisterhood and intimacy and eros and sensuality, sexuality, self-mastery, regulation, conflict resolution, circle work, different operating systems to run community, new ideas that can change the world, and social movements, and the list goes on and on. And I want that to all be represented in this event, where not only is it like a buffet of wonderful workshops offered by profound teachers in these very important areas that make up a new paradigm living, but there'll be time each day that we gather for these types of large transpersonal community transmissions. And so this is Ecstasis, June the 25th to the 29th, and this is actually open. And you can go onto the website ecstasisliving.com to learn more about it. And I think you can even link there through the heartiq.com website as well, if you want to go ahead and register and get started on that. Very, very exciting stuff. And so I'm left coming to the end of this year, simultaneously feeling huge amounts of gratitude and love and abundance of like, wow, what a year. Also exhausted, and that's okay. But it's also inspiring a new commitment on a personal level to have more balance, to look at some of the patterns of where work has overwhelmed my life to the degree that is there room for other things, hobbies, interests, a relationship? Where has it become such a part of my identity that there is now an addiction or a need or a push? Like, these are always questions I'm asking at this time of year of how can I keep things in proportion and in balance? And how can I continue to do my best work while honoring this vessel that I'm in? And that's where I'm at. It feels super exciting. So thank you for all of you who are part of my year, personally and professionally. I would have to say it's probably the second most exciting year I've had in my last 20 odd years or 25 years of my career. I would say the top one to beat is 2011 when I was living in Costa Rica. That was just a wildly out of this world year. But I have to say this year has been absolutely huge. Other highlights was my partner in developing and building New Eden, Summer. You know, she and I had our conscious closure. Even though we separated romantically in the end of 2017, we completed our legal transition of New Eden coming into my care and stewardship in June this year. And it just feels so good to be complete with that part as well by the end of this year. It's just like, oh, wow. It's just feeling really whole. And I'm so looking forward to giving her a big hug tomorrow evening when I see her at the airport. Yay. Yeah, I'm grateful that we were able to transition with so much love and as a soul friendship. Yeah, it's been really, really beautiful. Wow, I'm sure I've missed some other highlights. For example, I had the most life-changing experience at an ABBA concert in December. A friend and I went and I was just mind blown. It takes a lot to blow my mind technologically, but going into that concert in London, to see AI generated figures so real that I couldn't even tell that they weren't real, was just like, we're living in the future right now. And this is so inspiring. And I left actually even more excited for this Ecstasis project that I was talking about, because I feel like there's a flavor, not in terms of AI generated performers. I'm talking about something about the epicness and the part that I was left leaving stunned was just like, I want that. I want people to feel that. That's what I want people to feel, kind of thing. So I was really lit up by my recent trip to the UK and experiencing that. All right. Well, there's so much more, but this is already half an hour, so I'm going to leave it here. Again, thank you. Have a wonderful 2025, and I can't wait to continue this exciting path with you. And hopefully our paths will cross again very, very soon. All right. Take care.